Welcome to the Life After Life podcast, where we explore our soul's physical and non-physical journey. I'm Majona. Let's discuss angels, guides, and loved ones from the other side. Hello and welcome back. You have Thomas and Majona.
Hello and welcome back.
Let's talk life purpose. Boy, there's some really great questions around this. Like, how do I know if I'm living my life purpose? How do I know if I've strayed from it? And, these are, like always, just such great questions. All questions are great. I love that you're seeking and we're looking for the truth and we're growing spiritually. That is so awesome. So life purpose, I think it all boils down to two things. If you are living in love, you're coming from a place of love, you're on track. That's the good news.
That was simple.
Okay, podcast over. Okay, no. The other thing is, obviously, we do come here for a specific purpose, to help our souls grow and to contribute to the greater good, right? Now, within that scheme, I think it's really, really broad as to how you fit that purpose. For example, if you are a healer, you can go into a medical profession specifically, or you could do like holistic health, traditional, Eastern, Western, whatever, nursing, hospice. You could do Reiki. You could do energy work. There are so many healing modalities. None of those are right and none of those are wrong. This is what I think is so cool when we look at all of these very cool tools that we have at our disposal and don't always realize that. Like, we have astrology. We can study that and just find the propensities and what's active in our life and what energies are prevalent. Will you live your life without knowing any of that and be successful? You can, absolutely. And sometimes it feels like you're swimming upstream. So same thing with all of this. You can be completely naive to all of this and still have a successful, happy life. And if you're a seeker, these are important things to know. And when you know what's active in your life and where you're headed, you spend less time swimming upstream and more time just floating with the current, going with the flow.
When I used to go to movies,
long time ago,
sometimes you want to just watch a movie and sometimes you want to know how that sucker ends before you go in there.
And sometimes you can figure it out. And life isn't supposed to be like that. So there are many different rivers that you can jump on to reach your life purpose. And as long as you are flowing in the river of love, then you know you're on the right path. And then you also have angels and you have guides to help you with that. So remember that that's what they're doing. They're always with you. And if you do stray too far from that path, they will help shift you back around to it. And even if you know what your purpose is and you feel it, man, you know you're living your purpose. If you wake up in the morning and you're excited for the day in and day out, and you might go to a 9-to-5 job, but it doesn't feel like a job because you love it. You are right where you should be. If you are getting up and, haven't had a good night's sleep and you're scratching your head and wondering why you're headed in there, it might be time. And you do that consistently. Everybody has bad days. But if that's consistent, maybe you want to reevaluate that. And listen for guidance and what part of that isn't working for you, what part of that job is not. And part of our earth experience is our journey is supposed to be full of learning experiences. And learning experiences often are not pleasant or fun or easy, right? So the angels and guides will help you stay on your path, and they'll give you some clues. You might feel some little nudges and bumps, and things might open up to say kind of like, over here, over here.
Synchronicities.
Synchronicities, exactly. Ooh, right.
Big one.
And, people that aren't really awake and aware of what's going on call those coincidences. But for those of us that know and we're looking, they're synchronicities.
Your angels join over there. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Come on.
Smacking the forehead again with the palm. Will they ever get it? Very lovingly and patiently, by the way. So if you don't, let's say worst case scenario, and you're feeling like, I'm just not on my path. I don't know what my path is. What if I'm not living my life purpose? First of all, if you're wondering that, there's a good chance that you're okay because you're in tune with that. People that aren't, and they continue to wander and stray further and further from their life path, just tend to get all caught up in this earthly stuff. And then that's when depression hits. And you might go into, ways to escape, to self-medicate. That, and still the angels and guides are present, but I do know some people that push it and push it and push it, and then finally come back with, wow, I had to have this absolute life-shaking experience to wake me up, to put me back on my path. And we do have free will to do that. So for you yourself, as long as you're questioning it, and I think the biggest loop back ever is if you feel you're straying, go ahead, get quiet, what feels right, and then think, what comes easily and naturally to me? What gifts do I have? And especially as adults, I think we're so used to those gifts that we push them aside because that's old news. We think that life purpose has to be a challenge. I have to go out and conquer new territory. But you came in here with all of the gifts that you need to live your life purpose. It's so funny because we like struggle and we don't need to struggle. So go back to ground zero. What do I know? I know me very well. What are my talents? What do I do effortlessly and enjoy? It might be playing music. Okay, that doesn't mean that you have to be a professional musician. You might like to be, but there are other ways that you can use your music to bring joy to people. And that might be part of your life purpose. So I also think we have more than one life purpose, and that can shift as we grow and as we go through our life and on our journey. Although I think the core of it is always going to be about the same. If you're a healer, you're a healer. Now, the modality you choose may shift. Same thing if you're a teacher. You might teach one group of people, academics or whatever. You might teach at a school, but that's not the only option. You can teach at any academic level, but you can teach spiritually. You teach people through interactions. One of my favorite, once I reframed it, it became one of my favorites, was when people would say, "What's your religion?" That used to be very irritating. But what I decided was, and my response to them became, if you want to know my religion, watch how I live my life. That's my religion. And it became one of my favorites because, one, it left them rather speechless. They didn't know how to respond to that. And then the other thing is it truly opened them and me up to teaching opportunities. So, it was one of those gifts that came to me as this is a good response.
I love what you're saying about, don't beat yourself up. Don't make this too complex. It doesn't have to be complicated. Stay in the flow of love. That is so critical, and that's become so evident, I think, to both of us here lately. And then I just wanted to contribute this. You mentioned astrology just briefly. People wonder where in that complex thing do they find your soul purpose? And this would require a lot of self-study, but here are the places to look. Here's where those nuggets are hidden. Look at Saturn, Pluto, the moon, and the north and south nodes. That's all we'll do here, but there's a plethora of information online about all of those.
It sure can, and it actually can be a little bit overwhelming. Thomas does a fun, quick podcast on astrology. It's called Fun Astrology.
Try to make it fun anyway.
It is. I listen to him do these, and it is fun.
I've said on there that this formation that we're in right now, this is what's important, is I think the opportunity, not of a lifetime, of many lifetimes, of many centuries, to do soul work in a very specific way in alignment with your purpose is going on right now, and it will continue through January. We've never had an opportunity like this in hundreds of years. So it's worth waking up to this and taking advantage of it.
Absolutely. Okay, y'all, live right now happening. I have to share this, and Thomas is going to look at me like, what? Right now, through this, I just very clearly got this prompting, and I'm going to honor it. So apparently, starting this summer, I will be doing readings on your life purpose. I didn't know I was going to do that. Woo! Apparently that just came through very loudly and clearly. So you want to know your life purpose? You want to know you're on path? You want to connect with your angels and guides? I will be happy to help you with that, and I am being very led to do that. So I'm honoring it. I'm excited. That'll be great.
You know what's cool about this is I've told you one of the most meditative places for me on the planet is behind a microphone narrating one of Fred Dodson's audiobooks.
Those are powerful. I
just zen in that state. Maybe for you, it's a podcast.
Maybe so. I mean, I didn't see that one coming for sure. I'll warm up to that idea.
There you go. That's how
fun.
It happens.
All right. So one last really fun bit of information is this guy right here has been working diligently and has put together a really great website. I'm so excited. So now the email is still Majona at lifeafterliferadio.com. And there's actually now a website that is lifeafterliferadio.com. We have recorded some video and some audio that are available to you at no charge on that website. So please check it out. I'm excited and really want to hear your feedback. What you think about this?
You're just doing great. Keep getting better and better.
This is fun. Thank you all so much for participating and letting us work with you. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.